right, welcome back to Late Night Love. I accidentally hit the start button. I wasn't quite ready. I had this. It's a two-stage start. I had started the first stage and I forgot I hit to record over here, so I stopped, went to hit record. But when I did it, anyway, all heck is broken loose this week. But we are here. We're a little late.
We're here.
We're 12 hours late, but we're here.
We're here. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 hours.
That's been what I've been saying for the last couple days. I'm here.
Or is it 36 hours? It was last night, right?
Last night at 12:36.
Yeah, I'm all out of sorts. So for whatever it is, we lost the computer, so I had to redo this. The daughter unit moved back into the house, so we had to rearrange my office and the studio back into an office studio. And I had to get it all cleaned up. I didn't get it done until like 3 o'clock this morning.
I know.
So
that's when I woke up.
But I got it done.
Yes, you did.
So
I know.
And we are here. And speaking of when we are here, before we get into the intro, I'm going to hit this one with you because we were just all screwed up today. So you can find us at latenightLove.us. You can also send us your questions, comments, suggestions to love@latenightLove.us. There's a question form on the website. You can comment. Oh, I got to log Lovey back in. I should do it on your tablet. And to the subscribe, share thing. I can talk. I'm a professional. Seriously. Some weeks feel like a tug of war between what we owe and what we can actually give. Work wants more, partners want more, kids want more, and somewhere in the middle, we're supposed to remember who we are. Tonight, we are shifting with the moments that stretch us thin, the jealousy we don't want to admit, the coworkers who test our patience, the partners who misunderstand our needs, and the quiet fears we carry about the people we love. This is Late Night Love, where we take the messy, the tender, the funny, and the frustrating, and we breathe through it together. And tonight's intro was a perfect example of that. Good Lord Almighty.
There we go.
At least we got through all of that. Yeah. And I did all the stuff that's supposed to go after that. So now we can just hop right in to our first segment of the night. We got life segment where we talk about self-improvement, work, self-improvement, that kind of thing. Yes. All right, so tonight in life, we are talking about the slow erosion of balance when work creeps into every corner, when coworkers cross lines, when managers pretend the office is Disneyland, and when people closest to us ask for things that don't quite feel fair. From a girlfriend who wants rent money she doesn't need, to a jealous partner competing with a chatbot, to the paranoia that comes after speaking up at work. These are the moments where we wonder, am I the problem, or is this world just doing too much right now?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
It's always the question. The other question is, why haven't you liked, subscribed, shared, and done all that good fun stuff?
I know.
Why? Yeah, why? Even though more and more people are, if I could keep up on the shorts, we'd be much better off. I am just been so busy and exhausted at the end of the night. The last thing I want to do is sit through a bunch of shorts and decide which ones to get to put out and win, because it's all a guessing game. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just guessing when I throw these things out there. So for all of you out there who feel like I'm faking it through life, yes, so are the rest of us. just
we're out here doing the best we can every day.
We're just trying, and as long as you're just trying, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. What we starting with tonight, love?
I've forgotten what work-life balance is.
Well, we could dissuade you that that's actually a thing. Work-life balance, let's be clear, each individual person is going to have their own definition of what that is, what that means.
Yes.
So what it means to me is going to be different than what it means to somebody else. And if you have a job that is fulfilling, emotionally fulfilling, you get to go out and you get to do what you feel are good things, that's less of a strain than if you're just going out and punching a time clock and doing a job that maybe you don't hate, but you kind of tolerate, or God forbid you go to a job you hate, right? Then you need a much bigger balance.
Yes, you do.
than you do if you go into a job that is, emotionally rewarding for you. Mm-hmm. So there is no single definition of work-life balance. What work-life balance means is that you haven't gotten yourself so deep into your work that you have nothing else in your life. You've got to be a completely rounded human being. Now, none of us are completely round at any one time, right? We've all got flat surfaces and whatever, but you're trying to go out and be a more well-rounded human being. That's the point of trying to find a work-life balance. I was in politics for a while, and that's why we started this show.
We started this.
So I would have some kind of balance in my life. I knew that being in politics needed a balance, and so this was, part of that. And so, instead of complaining about it, instead of kind of just go out and do it. If you feel like your life has gotten out of balance, well, then focus more on something that's out of work.
Yeah. What hobby have you been neglecting, or one that you haven't interested in that you haven't gotten into?
Yeah, it's join a D&D game, whatever it is you're interested in.
Yeah.
Or something you haven't tried before, but you thought, hey, that might be cool. Or maybe your friends play pickleball and and you'll be terrible at it, but so what? It's not the point, right? Maybe there's here in town, here in Sacramento, there's this XOSO Sports or something. I forget the exact name of it.
Yeah.
But it's essentially it's a rec league, but really they just go out, they go play some sports, and then they go drink beer. It's kickball. They got flag football. They got all kinds of various things to do. But realistically, they go do this thing, and then they go drink some beer, and they go to the pub, and which is great. They found their communities, right? Got no problems with it. Now, not everybody goes drinking, but you know what I mean. Uh-huh. It's a social club. They don't care. Yeah. You don't give two rats' butts who wins these things. It's essentially it's a beer league sports thing. So go enjoy. That's what they mean by beer league. Right? Mm-hmm. It's half the people are there just to drink beer after the game. Well, go do one of those things. Just find something to do that's different. If you're feeling out of balance, go find something to do that's different. That's the only solution. Sitting whining about it, writing to people on the internet. I'm glad you're out there actually searching for answers. So you're a step ahead of people who are just sitting there eating bonbons and Cheetos and vegetating and doing nothing. So I don't want anybody to feel like I'm being down on you. But at this stage, you know what you have to do. You just want someone to give you the kick in the pants. And so here's the kick in the pants. Just go do something.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what the heck it is. Just go do something. Pick something. And if you don't like it, pick something else.
Yeah, you don't have to, it's not set in stone. You can try different things until you hit on one that you really like. Yeah.
Yeah. Work-life, and remember, what work-life balance is just that you're not so deep into work that you have nothing else of yourself.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself having nothing else of yourself, then go create something else of yourself. That's the wonderful thing. You get to be in charge of that. So one thing you get to be in charge of, and you really actually get to control in life, right? There's so much in life that we have superficial control of. This is the one thing you actually have control of. You can always go make yourself a more interesting person. You can literally just go to the park and play chess with people or whatever, right? You don't need to. It doesn't require anything. So you can just go do it. Okay, what's next?
How do I handle my girlfriend wanting me to split her rent when she's financially fine? Well, she wants to build a savings.
Okay, now are they living together?
No.
Oh, well then she can pound sand.
I know. But she wants to build a savings.
No, she wants to use him like a cash register.
I know. But she wants to build a savings, she says.
Yeah, because she's thinking about herself. She doesn't give two rats' asses about him.
I know.
He'd like to build a savings too, but he can't because she wants him building her savings. Tell her to pound sand. No, seriously, you are nothing but a paycheck.
New girlfriend.
Yeah, she's actually telling you exactly who she is at this point in her life. Now, granted, they're 22 and 24, right?
Yeah.
So she can evolve and change, but you don't have to be a part of that.
No.
I very rarely give you the just find a different
just one. Move on.
Yeah. But
we rarely do that.
Yeah.
We try not to.
But this one, there's really no other
There's nothing to salvage.
She is telling you exactly who she is right now, and you don't need to be a part of the solution. So how do you manage that? By finding a better girlfriend. Yeah. But leave the first one first. Just be respectful.
Be responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Why do some managers seem to think employees actually like going in the office? She prefers remote.
Well, because some of us prefer to go into the office. I despise working from home. Despise it. Now, granted, gonna grant you, my commute is 3 minutes. So the transit time is not a factor. Okay, if I need to go into the office for an hour, it's literally for an hour. There's no travel time. It's like I have to go 20 minutes, go for an hour, and then drive 20 minutes back to get to the office, or walk, or take a bus. It's a 3-minute drive. And if I took the scooter, me and my son, we can. If he takes the bike, it depends on who gets stuck at which light, who gets home first. So the bike and this, it's just that right distance where a bike or a scooter is actually equal to a car, except for comfort and all that various stuff. Anyway, but it's the same time, right? So really, I have the golden commute. But even despite that, I don't like working from home. You talked about work-life balance before. Why do you want to bring your work home with you? But you've got to understand this from a boss perspective. It doesn't matter if you as an individual are more productive, feel more productive at home, or even over the course of a month say, look, I get more work done. If your team has to slow down because they have to wait 20 minutes when they can get an immediate answer when you're in the office, you know how many things that would take me if I had to send an email or give somebody a phone call, wait for them to call me back, or send a text, and all that stuff takes time, where I can just walk over to the thing. Hey, I need this answer. They give me the answer, and I'm done. Not only am I done, there's no miscommunication. There's no shorthand because people don't like typing emails. Right? I got the actual face-to-face communication. Any nuance I can catch. Any uncertainty I can catch.
Yes.
Someone's giving me an answer, but it's full of BS, I can tell. Or if someone's giving me an answer, but they're uncertain, and they may not have told me if I wasn't there. I have young coworkers who will not tell you they're feeling distressed in an email. But if you're sitting there talking to them, I can check in with them. Just explain to them why I'm checking into them. These are things you can't do over emails. So there's value other than the work, because the work is only part of the work. And that's what a lot of people who want to work remotely think of. There's nothing wrong with being selfish, but you have to understand when you have a job, your selfishness only can go so far. Once your selfishness hurts the team, it goes out the window.
Yeah.
So, find the compromise. And some people do. We've all forgotten that some people actually do like going into the office. Some people forget we're social creatures. Many of us are social creatures, right? Mm-hmm. Not me, but even still, I like going into the office. I just don't like being work at home. It's a different reason. But we are social creatures. People like going into work because that's their tribe. It's their away from home tribe. They get away from their madhouse that is the kids, the family, and the home duties, and they create that work-life balance, right?
Yes, it works both ways.
Yeah, I want some balance in my life. Well, you're going to have to go create it. And, in the 70s, women would go out, in the 60s and 70s, they go out and they get a part-time job at a flower shop or something just to get out of the house. The traditional homemaker back in the day, they go find a part-time job somewhere, not to earn the money. They were doing it to get the freak out the house. Wanted to do something different. They wanted to be a more rounded person. That's why they would go out and do these things. And so I get why some people want to work from home, but I also get that it can be dangerous, especially if you tend to depression. So just saying, there are reasons. And
that you covered quite a few of them.
Yeah. And employers, they care about team results, not your individual results, ultimately. And if your individual results don't bring the whole team up, then, that's how athletes get traded, so it is what it is.
That's how athletes get traded.
Yeah, you're no longer valuable enough. Someone else can, while their stats may not equal yours, they can bring a value, a same or greater value to the team because they play a different role. They play a more team role rather than an individual role.
Okay.
Happens all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm jealous of my boyfriend for the chat GPT. 6 hours a day.
Okay, but what is he doing? Is he actually doing something?
She didn't say.
Or is it like a porn addiction or something? Or is he actually doing something? Is he crafting a business plan? Is he just?
She doesn't know. She didn't say. She doesn't like it. 6 hours a day.
It seems excessive unless he's building a future business.
Uh-huh.
It does seem excessive. It'd be like, okay, it's one thing. My boyfriend plays video games 6 hours a day. I'm annoyed. Okay, that seems rational until you find out that he's been streaming on Twitch and he's not making a lot of money. He is bringing in some, and his audience is growing, and he's learning new skills. Okay, that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
Those are different things. And so they're 18. Is he probably just kind of goofing off on ChatGPT? Probably. There's probably an hour and a half in there where he's trying to actually do work, and the rest of it is some, goofy video game playing. He's just trying it out. But here's the thing. He's also building skills for the future. So it's hard to know. Here's the thing. My suggestion, find out what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something you could participate in.
You can help him.
Maybe you can learn something.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's playing D&D with ChatGPT because you think it's goofy and you won't play with him. Don't know.
Okay.
But these are possibilities.
Okay. Was it wrong to report my food stealing coworker to my boss?
No. I'm assuming this is an ongoing thing. So if it happens once, don't be a dick. But if it happens,
more than once.
Yeah.
Now, should she confront the food stealer?
Well, I'm assuming they already did.
Okay.
So it gets kind of the way how the way some of these questions are phrased. You could just kind of tell that this one doesn't feel like it's a food stealing coworker. It's not like, hey, somebody just kind of randomly stole my food. I think it's this person. I don't. Right.
Okay.
This seems like someone who is a habitual food stealer. And food stealer, who knows what they're stealing? Someone's yogurt or something. But yes, if it's a repeated thing, then sure. Of course you do. But yes, I would assume you've already done some kind of confrontation, especially if you know who it is. Okay. You know
what I did?
What's that?
I got one of those insulated lunch boxes, and I got one of those, those blue frozen things, ice things that takes hours. And I kept my lunch with me. I didn't put it in the refrigerator.
Well, I've worked in a lot of places where that wasn't an issue because if you stole somebody's food, you got punched in the face. And so stealing food didn't happen. You work in warehouses and assembly lines. People don't play. So now janitors, on the other hand, that's a different thing. Don't leave nothing. Because you never know which one's the ones who are going to steal everything. So you just don't leave nothing.
Don't leave nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Complained about something at work. Now everything feels off. Is this retaliation or am I just paranoid?
Both. Well, and it's not actually, I would guess it's probably not deliberate retaliation. What it is now people are walking around on eggshells around you because they feel they have to be careful. Legitimately or not, right? The complaint could very well have been legitimate, Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was partially legitimate. If you'd have known the whole story, you probably may not have complained. Who knows what the actual story is. But now you're on eggshells because you've got it on the top of your head, so you notice every single thing, and you're reading things into things that you otherwise wouldn't read into. And guess what? So are they. This is just human nature. Asking to avoid this is like asking to avoid, I don't know, a stubbed toe. You can try, but it's going to happen eventually. So, yeah. And this is where your character becomes built. You just power through it. You put the proverbial blinders on and just do your job. Don't worry about it. It's the most powerful skill in the world. Seriously. There's nothing else to do except be as normal as possible.
Well, yeah.
So
that's all you can do, and let it blow over.
Just because it may be nothing, right? It may very well be you're paranoid. Maybe they're paranoid.
But give it time for things to return to normal.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Put the proverbial blinders on. Just do your job, and chips will fall where they may. This is one of these things where before you complain, you've got to have thought this through, and you should have already had your strategy on getting through the next 6 weeks. If you don't think about the next 6 weeks then you're not doing yourself any favors. You clearly weren't prepared for all the potential ramifications of what you were going to do. Sorry. Maybe you shouldn't have to think about that, but we live in this thing called reality. And and if you don't think about, things are going to be uncomfortable for a few weeks. Is it worth that? Probably was. It probably wouldn't have changed right?
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have changed your decision, but you should dang well have thought it through, because then you would have been more prepared. You wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
And that's why you think these things through. Yeah. It's not to change your mind. It's so you're prepared for the aftermath.
Okay.
Yeah. Because things are going to feel off after you issue a serious complaint. I'm assuming it was a serious complaint. Things are going to feel off and a little awkward for a little bit. They just are, because we're human, and this is the real world. And you should have been prepared for that. Sorry, you come here for reality, not for unicorns farting rainbows. It's just I'd love to see unicorns farting rainbows. I think it'd be great, but I'm sorry they don't exist.
Could totally happen.
Sure, why not? Okay, what's next?
Last question in this section. How to deal with an employee who acts like they're my director?
Well, here's the thing. Do they know more than you about your job at the moment?
No.
Sometimes they do. And so what feels like they're acting as your director is what they're really need to do is they're telling you how things have been done. Now, it may be time for change. Just because things have been done like this doesn't necessarily mean things should be done like that. Things need to change, especially now in the world, what I call the post-digital age. Some people call it the age of AI or whatever. Yeah, I don't think that I call it the post-digital age.
Okay.
But it's uncertain. The future is uncertain. How processes and how people operate will change. We just don't know it will change into what and how, and everybody's kind of trying to figure that out right now. So what they're doing is telling you how things were. Your job is to get them to follow. As a leader, your job is to get them to follow. So how do you do that? By earning respect.
Well, you got a gold mine right there.
Well, maybe he's just an arrogant jackass, and
I like how you cover all the bases, babe.
Well, because I've seen all of the bases, right? That's one of the reasons. There's no simplistic. I wish there was silver bullet answers in life. I really do. No one wants silver bullet answers more than me. But there just isn't. sorry to tell everybody that. There's just no silver bullet answers. And so the thing is, you have to figure out, okay, which scenario do I exist in? Is this guy just an arrogant jerk? And my solution as his manager is to figure out a way to move on eventually, shift him to a different team, whatever, because it's not worth the effort. Or is this someone who's got a lot of skill and knowledge, but I need to figure out how I can get him to follow, because you're now the leader. And remember, we're often not trained to be leaders. We're just shoved into the leadership role.
I know.
And with no real training. And so you've got to take it upon yourself to go, find your leadership style and hone that and work on it. There's a number of successful styles. So I'm not going to sit there and say you should do this leadership style. But what you should do is go out, examine the various leadership styles, find the one that suits your nature, and follow that. Some leadership styles I would suck at. I'm not a rah-rah person, right? So if I'd be seen as a complete phony. It would not work at all, right? If I try to be the motivating, it's not going to work. I'm the leader who's, the helpful leader who helps you do your job so you can help me do mine. That's the kind of thing. I create the safe space so you can do your job. It's my job. When you come across something you can't deal with or you need help with, I'll take it on my plate. Sure. No, don't worry about it. I got it. If you get stressed, I got it. Yeah. You take care of your team takes care of you. It's amazing how that works. But how you take care of your team is individual. Okay. All right. So if you're feeling stretched, second-guessing yourself, or wondering whether you're allowed to say no, you are not alone. Life gets loud, but your boundaries can get louder.
Yeah.
From me and Lubby. Yep, here it is. We want to thank you for joining us today. Have a good night, and please remember to love everybody.
Good.